Members of a law enforcement task force recently raided more than a dozen convenience stores in the Tulsa area, where 55,000 bags of synthetic marijuana, often referred to as K-2, were confiscated. During the sweep, nearly 20 people were arrested for selling K-2, a substance that can make people violent, sick, even kill them. Across Oklahoma, prosecutions of those selling K-2 have been stymied because suppliers are staying one step ahead of the law, and police say K-2 use is growing at an alarming rate.
Union 304, I'll get her.
Tulsa police officer Ben Brandt is on special assignment. He patrols a small area that encompasses downtown Tulsa. Brandt and Officer Angie Criner say 1 in 3 people they come in contact with on the streets is high on K-2, a synthetic marijuana.
Hey, man. Hey. You all right? Hello? Tulsa Police Department. Hello? Hey. What's going on, man?
At first, the man can't be aroused. He is passed out in front of a church building that has a no trespassing sign.
Get your ID for me, bud. You need help?
No, what's your name? I'm trying to identify you, man.
Oh, black person.
What is it?
Black person. And,
Christopher Platt?
yes, sir.
After searching him, they find what may be causing the man's incoherence.
They're called on the streets K-2 sticks. And that's our main problem.
After getting him upright,
All right, bud. Go ahead and stand up for me.
the man becomes belligerent.
You set me off!
His failure to cooperate continues all the way to booking at the Tulsa County Jail.
No, I ain't gotta look no way!
Yeah, man.
The officers say dealing with people on K-2 is a nightmare compared to those abusing other substances.
People can manage alcohol a lot better than this because you know how much you're consuming when you're drinking. I mean, you know this is a fifth, this is so much, you know. In a K-2 stick, you never know how much of the chemical's in there. So they may get a low dose or they may get a really high dose.
One stick can keep someone high from 1 to 4 hours, and it's cheap.
What, a pack of cigarettes costs $7, something like that. A K-2 stick, just give you a whole lot of kick, $2.
Dr. Tracy Loper is the physician for the Tulsa County Jail.
But we see people acutely psychotic, agitated, violent. We also see people with heart rates that exceed 200, blood pressures that double the normal rate. We see, or close to doubling. We see, we had a guy that a week or so ago that had to be hospitalized. They recorded his core body temperature over 105.
The use of K-2 was first noticed among the homeless more than a year ago. Steve Whitaker is the Director of Operations for the John 3:16 mission.
We've been very concerned about the preying upon the homeless, these dealers of synthetic marijuana. It seemed like they kind of tried out this product line on the homeless first, it seems to me. And now that it's affecting our children, it's getting worse.
Whitaker says every week they review who can and cannot be allowed to enter the shelter.
There's a suspended group of the homeless because of K-2, a significant number that are on that suspended list.
K-2 users are also turned away from the Iron Gate Soup Kitchen in downtown Tulsa.
Yes. Okay.
600 to 800 people are served here daily. Matt Mitchell is Iron Gate's Director of Operations.
I've walked by some guys, you can smell the aroma, you smell it, and next thing you know, you see people falling out. And that's, it's quick, it's immediate almost in some cases. And, we're having to call IMSA. For a while there, we had to call IMSA several times a week.
He and 2 other kitchen helpers have dual roles. They also act as security guards at Iron Gate.
Mind distortion so big to where, I've seen people, get through smoking K-2, and it takes them almost an hour and a half to cross the parking lot from the gate, to the sidewalk, just totally out of it.
Dominic Parker not only sees homeless people high on K-2 around Iron Gate, he also sees it in his own neighborhood.
I see some of the younger people around my age that smokes it, and it's like they be somewhere else, they can't comprehend certain stuff. It slurs their speech sometimes, or they just do things and don't think about it till after the fact.
Steve Kunzweiler is Tulsa County's district attorney-elect.
K-2 is not just an addictive drug, it's a drug that kills. Just this week, we are prosecuting in Tulsa County a lady who was driving under the influence, allegedly, of marijuana and synthetic drugs. That lady impacted an automobile that ultimately resulted in the death of a small child. If you think that this is an issue that is not going to impact you, you need to think again.
Recently, law enforcement announced an operation was underway targeting small, independent convenience stores suspected of selling K-2 from behind the counter.
We have deputies in the field that are actually going into some convenience stores and attempting to buy K-2 narcotics, and if they're not successful, then we're going to go ahead and serve search warrants on each of those locations.
Those 14 locations that he identified, 13 of those are C-stores, convenience stores, that today are out retailing synthetic marijuana, K-2 or spice. They're retailing that knowing that it is legal, knowing that it's unlawful, despite the fact that the labeling says it's otherwise legal.
K-2 is sold as a room fragrance, but investigators say many store clerks know the organic material is sprayed with chemicals which get people high when they smoke it. The K-2 seized in the recent convenience store sweep is believed to contain chemical compounds already specified as controlled and dangerous substance by Oklahoma law. However, the chemical compounds are constantly changing, making it hard to prosecute.
Once we figure out what that compound is, then we have to go to the legislature and get them to specifically criminalize the chemical composition of the compound that's being ingested and sold as synthetic marijuana. So just as soon as we get the legislature to enact legislation to say, hey, this is illegal, all they do is they tweak the chemical composition. They come up with some other variation which then makes it not illegal.